What is the basic structure? So Keshwanand Bharti of landmark Keshwanand Bharti and Sri Padagalvaru Brothers State versus Kerala. There is basic structure: sovereignty, individual freedom, build welfare state, constitution, republic and democratic government, secular features, separation of power, unity, integrity, power of judicial review, harmony, balance between fundamental right and DPSP, parliamentary system, rule of law, principle, equality, free and fair election, independent judiciary, limited power and parliament to amend the constitution, effective access to justice, principle underlying fundamental rights, power of the Supreme Court and Article 32 and 136, 141 and 142, power of the High Court. So Keshwanand Bharti judgment, Supreme Court outlined the basic structure of the constitution. The case deal with the petition against the Kerala government challenging the compulsory acquisition of its land by the government under the Kerala Land Reforms Act 1963 as the violation of fundamental rights as enshrined Article 26, 25 and 31. The case was heard by the bench of 13 judges, the largest form in the Supreme Court. The hearing proceeded. The scope of the case was expanded to address the following: Golaknath case, interpretation of Article 368, power of Parliament to amend the Constitution, and validity of 24 Constitution Amendment Act, Section 2 and 3 of 25 Amendment Act and 29 Amendment Act. So Parliament can amend any part of the including fundamental right. Shankari Prasad and Sajjan Singh case. Here said the Parliament can amend any part of fundamental right under Article 368. This was said by the Shankari Prasad case. And constitution not law, so Parliament can amend 24 amendment, 25 amendment, Section 2 curtail right to property with due to compensation, Section 3 precedence of DPSP over fundamental right. So 25 constitutional amendment talk about DPSP is more powerful than fundamental right, took away scope of judicial review. Here judicial reviews Article 39B and 39C and curtail the right to property. This is also talked about the 25 Amendment Act. Now Golaknath case talked about 368 did not confer amending power to the Parliament, but fundamental right cannot be amended by the Parliament. Okay, and 29 Amendment Act talk about landmark reforms, land reform constitutional to the 9th schedule. So 29 amendment was for the 9th schedule. Keshwanand Bharti case was the line of thought maintained and strengthening in the subsequent judgment like Minerva Mill case, S.R. Bomai case and I.R. Kohlo case. Minerva Mill case, S.R. Bomai case and I.R. Kohlo case, this was. Now, Keshwanand Bharti case was upheld the validity of the 24 constitutional amendment. Parliament had the power to amend any or all provision of the constitution including the fundamental right, with the condition that the amendment should not alter, damage or destroy the essential feature of the fundamental principle of constitution. This came to be known the basic structure doctrine and corrected the judgment of the Golaknath case, which is Article 368 contained both the power and the procedure for amending the constitution, and amending power and legislative power of the Parliament were different. So, amendment and legislative power is different, but Golaknath case said that contain both the power of procedure for amending the constitution. Other judgment upheld 25 and 29 amendment, the part of curtail its power of judicial review, and also asserted Parliament is a part of constitution and hence the amendable. So this is the judicial review, and asserted that the preamble is a part of the constitution and hence amendable. So basic structure: India is the violation of Constitution 61, other House of Parliament. So impeachment process of president. If we are talking about the impeachment process of constitution, then in India violation of the constitution will be the ground. In USA treasury, treason, bribery and high crime. In India either House of Parliament. In USA only House of Representative. In India 1/4 will sign the charge, 14-day notice, then 2/3 majority will be passed that, then second house will pass with the majority, then impeachment process will be carried out. In USA pass with the simple majority, Senate upper house act like a court and then pass with the 2/3 of the Senate. Okay, now pardoning power of the governor. So remission of the sentence is the parvilum. Convict in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case has been pending before the Tamil Nadu governor for over the 2 years. So here the comparison between the pardoning power of president and governor. President, Article 72 empowered the president to grant pardon to the person who have been tried to convicted for any offence. Punishment or sentence is an offence against the union law. Punishment or sentence in the court martial. So it can be against the union law, it can be against the court martial, and sentence is sentence of the death. Three type of pardoning power are there. If there is a court martial, if there is a death, and if the law is the offence against the union law. Pardoning power of president included pardon. It's remove both the sentence and the conviction and completely absolve the convict from all sentences and punishment and disqualifications. Commutation, it denotes the substitution of one form of punishment for a lighter form. Remission, it's implied reducing the period sentence without changing the character. Despite it denote awarding lesser sentence in place of originally awarded due to the social facts such as the physical disability and the pregnancy. Reprieve, it implies stay for the execution sentence, especially the death or temporary period. Under the Articles 161, the governor of a state also possesses the pardoning power. But the pardoning power of governor differ from the president in following respect. President can pardon the sentence inflicted by the court martial, but governor cannot. President can pardon death sentence while governor cannot. Even if state law prescribe death sentence, the power to grant the pardon lies with the president and not with the governor. So governor can also grant the pardon, reprieve, respite and remission of the punishment or the suspend, remit and commute the sentence of any person convicted of any offence against a state law. And however, the governor can suspend, remit or commute a death sentence also. Subcategorization of the OBC. Recently, the Union Cabinet approved the term extension of the Commission to examine the issue of subcategorization of other backward classes. So conditions for the reservation laid down in the Sani case: reservation to socially and educationally backward, 50% cap will be version of the reservation, and creamy layer must be eliminated from the backward class, and these should be no reservation in the promotion. So a commission headed by Justice Rohini, he was formed 2017. It has been set up the Article 340 that empower to President appoint a commission to investigate under the backward classes. Okay. So this 1919 Mandal Commission was Union government announced that reservation of the backward class should be 27% of the job in central government service and public sector under Article 16 and 4. The decision was based on Mandal Commission report, which was set up in 1979 and chaired by B.P. Mandal. The mandate of the Mandal Commission was to identify the socially and educationally backward classes, address the discrimination, and the recommendations of OBC reservation in central government institution was implemented. 1992 Education Quota came into force 2006 and 15/4 of the article. So they ensure that the benefits of the recommendation of the Mandal Commission percolated down to the most backward community. Creamy layer criteria was invoked by the Supreme Court in the ruling called the Indira Sani judgment. A judgment will be with an annual income was 8 lakh and classified as the belonging to the creamy layer among the OBC, and it's not the eligible for the reservation. OBC is a collective term used by the government to classify castes which are educationally and socially disadvantaged. OBC are vastly heterogeneous ground. It are the variety of jatis and subcastes which vary significantly social and educational status. For instance, OBC include the low-lying community in both the north and south India and alongside poorer section of the society. First Backward Class Commission reports 1955 had proposed subcategorization of OBC. The Mandal Commission reports a dissent note by the L.R. Naik proposed subcategorization in the intermediates and the depressed classes. NCB is the OBC be divided into following three categories: extremely backward classes facing the social, education and the economical backwardness and consisting originally in tribes, nomadic, semi-nomadic tribes. and more backward classes consisting of the vocational group like carrying on their traditional occupation, and backward classes comprising of the comparative more forward. So these extremely backward, more backward, and the backward classes. According to the 11th states, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Puducherry, Karnataka, Haryana, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Bihar, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, subcategorization of the OBC are reservation in the state government. Now about the commission for the backward class 338. It was the National Commission for Scheduled Castes that addressed the grievances set up under the National Commission for Backward Class 1993. Article 338 of the Constitution can only be recommend inclusion and exclusion of castes from OBC list and level of into the creamy layer among these castes of the benefits reservation. So 123rd Constitutional Amendment or 102 Amendment aims to provide constitutional status of the backward classes. So 123 and 102. Two articles are that will be the its power aid to the Commission to socially and the educationally backward classes. An amendment to bring the change in Article 342 and 366. So 342 relates to the central list of the socially and educationally backward classes, and 366 contains the definition used in the Constitution unless the article specify the otherwise. So under the Act, National Commission of Backward Classes will comprise of the 5 members appointed President. Tenure, conditions, service will be decided by the President, and in the case of grievance related to the non-implementation of the reservation, economic grievance violation, people will be able to move to the commissions. And Act gives the proposed commission the power to inquire into the complaints of the deprivation of the rights and safeguard. It also empower of the civil courts trying to suit and allow it summon anyone required document to be produced and received in on affidavit. Official Language Act. Recently, Chief Justice of India amending the Official Language Act to include the more vernacular languages and not just confined to Hindi and English. So the act was enacted 1963 to provide the language which may be used for the official purpose for transaction of business in Parliament for central and the state government. So as per Act, both the English and Hindi shall be used for the certain specified purpose. Resolution, rules, general orders, notification, press communiques, advice, administrative reports and license. So Central Institute for Indian Language was subordinate office in the Ministry of Education. And coordinated development of the Indian language, document of minor minority tribal language, promote the linguistic harmony, 15 language, and advise to assist central as well as state government matter of language, and organize a number of programs such as development of Indian language, regional language, and national testing service. So part 17 of Indian Constitution deal with the languages. 8th schedule of the Constitution consists of the 12 to 22 language and 14 were be initially educations. Bodo, Dogri, Maithili, Santhali was the 92 Amendment Act, and Article 343 of the Constitution deal with the Hindi in the Devanagari script shall be official language. Met the provision for the Constitution of English even the 25th January by the empowering the Parliament to make the law of the effect, and the 344 provides for the constitution of a commission by the President on expiration of the 5-year forms of commencement of Constitution. So the Constitution of India provided that the all proceeding in Supreme Court and in every High Court shall be in English until Parliament by law otherwise provides, and provide the split the Hindi languages and the Parliament will be the English language. And shall be all the powers in the English language. Article 348, 344, a Constitution Commission President can expiration of 5-year term is given, and made provision continuation of the English after 2565, empowering the Parliament. So provide for the spread of Hindi language to develop it so that it may serve as the medium of expression for all the elements of the culture in India. So Article 344 of the Constitution, a commission shall consist of a chairman such as other members representing the different languages, and 8th schedule of the President and the order shall define the procedure followed by the Commission. It shall be duty of the Commission to make the recommendation of President the progressive use of Hindi language official purpose, restriction on the use of the English language for all and the traditional purpose, Language to be used for all or any purpose of the mentioned Article 348. The form of the numeral to be used for any or one of the specified purpose. Any other matter referred to the Commission by the President as regard the official language of the Union and the language of the communication between the Union and the state or between the states and another state. So it is also mentioned committee shall be constituted consisting 30 members, of whom 20 shall be members of the House of the People and 10 shall be the member of the states. It is shall be duty of the committee to examine the recommendation of the commission and present their opinion thereupon. Right to protest. Article 1A 19. Freedom of speech, right to demonstration and picketing, and the no right to strike. Strike is not a fundamental right. Right to assembly peacefully and right to state to impose reasonable restriction. But Supreme Court gave the verdict on right to protest, right to mobility on a ply against blocking of the roads in Shaheen Bagh in Delhi over the Citizenship Amendment Act protest. In another instance, Supreme Court said farmers have a constitutional right to continue with their absolutely perfect protest as long as their dissent against the three conservation agricultural law did not slip into violence. Hate speech. Amish Devgan. Here the case is which was the case Shaheen Bagh case. Okay. Hate speech is the Amish Devgan versus Union of India case. Was hate speech repudiated right to equality in the polity and committed to the pluralism. So hate speech is the free speech. So hate speech is very important because it is based on the right to equality in the polity, committed to the pluralism. We want a pluralism. So free speech include the right to comment, favor or criticize government policy, and hate speech creating or spreading hatred against the targeted community. Hate speech has not been defined in any law. However, hate speech, generally incitement to hatred primarily against the group person, deal with the IPC section 153 and 295A. Next one is the function of the parliament, state legislature and the local government. So what are the question hour? The control of the parliament. What is the question hour? In the wake of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha suspend question hour and private member business during the last monsoon session. The first hour of the sitting during the MP ask the question to the minister and hold them accountable for the functioning of their minister. Both the houses of parliament follow their own set of rules which are formulated to govern themselves. At the beginning of parliament 1952 Lok Sabha rule provide the question hours to be held every day. Rajya Sabha on the other hand had a provision for the question hour for the 2 day or a week. A few months later, this was changed to 4 day a week, and then from 1964, question hour was taking place in Rajya Sabha every day on the session. Stayed question require oral answer, unstayed written answer. Short notice question asked orally after the question hour and item or agenda insists no question hours planned. Question to private member, matter connected to the member to whom question to be asked. Half an hour question held with the speaker permission in case of the member not satisfied with the answer to stayed and unstayed. Conditions are 15-day prior notice to be speaker chairman to ask question. Only 5 question day in the Lok Sabha and 7 in the Rajya Sabha. So suspension of question hour. Question hour was done with the 62, then 75, then 76, then 91, then 2004, then 2009. And question hour was first dispensed with due to the India-China war. Then similarly, India-Pakistan war. Similarly, during the emergency, without question hour to the 2 session of monsoon session and winter session. 0 hour is the time immediately followed the question hour has come to be known as the 0 hour. So it started at around 12 of the noon. Typically, discussion on important bills, budget, and other issue of the national importance take place from 2 p.m. onwards. Members wishing to raise matter during the 0 hour need to give notice to the speaker prior to the start the daily session. And 0 hour is the Indian parliamentary innovation. Unlike the question hour, is not mentioned in the rule of procedure. 0 hour has been in existing since 1962. It is not mandatory to have a 0 hour every day during the session. Before asking a question in the parliament, the member has to give 15 days notice in the prescribed manner. Such is the period which is reduced to be the discretion of the chairman. Now the permission limit will be 5 days per member in Lok Sabha and 7 days Rajya Sabha. If he asked a question, then in Lok Sabha he can ask in a 5 day per member, and in Rajya Sabha 7 day per member. Permission limit in respect to the question asked in the parliament. Parliament Standing Committee. Due to pandemic, significant amount of tenure of parliamentary standing committee was lost. So standing committee on the finance, standing committee on the department, standing committee, committee on inquiry, committee on scrutiny, committee on the related to day-to-day functions, committee on the housekeeping. These are the some standing committees. And pandemic, significant amount of the tenure parliament standing committee was lost. Because of that, Rajya Sabha chairman also called for 2-year fixed tenure for the House panel. Thus, two options are being looked at: one, to extend the term of the panel for a year, and second, to form new committee with a fixed tenure or 2 year. So this is 1 year term is given. Parliamentary committee are of two kinds: standing committee, that is permanent in nature and constitute every year work for the continuous basic; ad hoc committee, temporarily in nature and cease to exist on the completion of the task assigned to them. So constitute make a mention of these committee at the different place but without making any specific provision regarding their composition, tenure. All these matters are dealt by the rules of two houses. Objective: ensure detailed scrutiny and uphold the government accountability, and aids to opposition to play a general role in the exercising control over the execution, engage with the relevant stakeholders and ensure the financial prudence. So draw the Article 105 is the privilege and the Parliament may, and Article 118 on Parliament authority to make rules for regulating the procedures and conduct of the business. Parliament is not bound by the recommendation of the committee. Okay, now Office of Profit. The Parliament panel has sought central response to a long pending demand for amending the constitution to clear ambiguity or definition of the Office of Profit. Office of Profit has not been defined in the constitution or under the Representation of People Act, but different courts have interpreted its mean to position with certain duty that are more or less of public character. Essence is that legislature should be able to carry out these duties in free manner without any obligations to the government of the day. The Supreme Court in Pradyut Bardolai Swapna Roy case outlined the four broad principles determining whether an office attract the constitutional disqualification, whether the government exercise control over appointments, removal, performance and functions, whether the office have been remuneration attached to it, whether the body in which the office is held the government power releasing money, allotment of land, granting licenses, whether the office enable the holder to influence by way of patronage. So how they of the office ruling by the government. Like Supreme Court Pradyut Ray case, he talked about the how they opt that office. One is whether government exercise control appointments and performance, whether remuneration attached, whether the office is like government by the money and allotment of granting license, whether it is achieved by the patronage. So Office of Profit, it has not been defined in the constitution. In original constitution that was not been defined, but under the RP Act, but different courts have interpreted it to mean to the position with certain duties that are more or less of public character. So to carry out the duties in free manner without any obligation to the government of day, that is important. So Office of Profit is center response to long pending demands for amending the constitution to the clear ambiguity over the definition. So Supreme Court, while upholding the disqualification of J.R. Bachchan case, had said that the deciding the question as to whether one is holding an office of profit or not. So what is the relevant is whether the office is capable of yielding a profit or pecuniary gain, and not whether the person actually obtained the monetary gain. So constitution provision under Article 102 and 191, MP and MLA is barred from holding the office of profit under the central and state government, and also under the RP Act 1951, holding an office of profit is ground of disqualification. The Office of Profit simply seeks to ensure a basic feature of the Constitution, the principle of separation of power between the legislation and executive and legal provision of Parliament to list a wide-ranging number of offices that are exempted to the disqualification. Now, Rajya Sabha election. So, first is Office of Profit seek to enforce the basic feature of Constitution, principle of separation of power, and legal provision of the Parliament, Prevention of Disqualification Act, wide-ranging number of offices that are exempted from the disqualification. Rajya Sabha elections. Recently, Rajya Sabha election to 19 seats across 8 states are concluded. Particularly, provisions are permanent body, but 1/3 member every year will be retired. Who elected by the elected member and proportion representation by means of single transferable vote. Seats allocated on the basis of the population, which is the fourth schedule. Article 80. Total strength is a 250. 12 nominated member. Term is 6 years. If by-election, member remains till remainder of term. If there is by-election, then elected member will remain the remainder term also. And it's a proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Seat allotted on the basis of population and elected by the elected member of the Rajya Sabha. Article 84. Qualification of member is citizen of India, 30-year age. In case of the governor, it's 35 age, but in case of Rajya Sabha, it's 30, and in case of Lok Sabha, it's 25. Other qualification prescribed by the Parliament. Now, Article 164(1)(a). What is that? It is that total number of ministers, including the chief minister and the council of ministers in a state, shall not exceed 15% of total number of the legislative assembly. It was inserted in 91 Constitutional Amendment Act. So, Article 164(1)(a). It is being present strength of council of ministry MP of the Article 164(1)(a). Breach of privileges. Supreme Court recently gave relief to the Arnab Goswami in breach of privileges case for making the derogative remark in the CM of Maharashtra. A breach of privileges is the violation of any privileges of Parliament, Article 105 and Article 194, both in the House. Any act that obstruct, impede the other house of the state legislature in performing it. Its function is treated as breach of privileges. As they are no law enacted in the Parliament, breach of privileges are governed by the British Parliamentary Convention. Member of Parliament Local Area Development Act Fund. Member of Parliament have urged government to release the fund for projects sanctioned in the 2018 and 19, which was suspend COVID-19 pandemic. So MP-led schemes is the central government scheme which provide the MP with choice to suggest the district collector for work to tune with 5 crore per annum. MP also have the recommendation work costing 15% for the SC and 7.5% for the ST population. Attorney General tenure extended for the 1 year. President has reappointed the KV Venugopal and 1 year. Article 76 provides the office of Attorney General and qualified to be the appointed as the judge of Supreme Court. Term of the office will be the not fixed by Constitution, but he hold the office during the pleasure of the President, and he has the right to speak and take part in the proceeding of both the House of Parliament, but without right to vote. Next is center-state relation. 6th schedule. Arunachal Pradesh Assembly unanimously passed a resolution for the entire state to be included in the 6th schedule of Constitution. Article 371 and 371J of Constitution contain the special provision for 11th states to meet the aspiration to protect the culture, economic interest of the tribals and local peoples states to deal with the disturbed law and order. So demanded to the amend the constitution was Article 371H and Arunachal Pradesh under the provision 371A and G in line with Nagaland and Mizoram. So this provides special protection with respect to religious and social practice, customary law, right to ownership and the transferred land to be the tribal people of the states of the Nagaland and Mizoram. Article 371H, the state government has special responsibility with respect to law and order in the states and in the discharge of his functions. And this is the Bengal Eastern Frontier Act, which was India from entering into the inner line permit. So Article 371A and G is represent religious and social practice, customary law, rights and the land, tribal people, states Nagaland, Mizoram respectively. And 371H states government has special responsibility respect to the discharge of function relating to thereto. So inner line permit is a document allowed an Indian citizen to visit, stay in a state that is protected under inner line permit. It is being era of regulation of Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act and crown on the commercial interest. So Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Mizoram are the protected by the inner line permit, but literally Manipur also added. What are the Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur later added, and every foreigner except a citizen of Bhutan who desire to enter and stay in the protected or restricted area is required to obtain a special permit called a protected area permit or restricted area permit. Assam is Bodoland Territory Council, Karbi Analog and Autonomous Council, and Dima Hasdo Council, and Meghalaya is the Garo, Khasi and Jaintia Autonomous District Council, and Tripura is the Tripura for the Tripura Autonomous Council, and Mizoram is the Chakma. Tripura for the Tripura and the Mizoram for the Chakma District Council is there. So there is three council for the Assam, 3 for the Meghalaya, 3 for the Tripura, and 1 council for the Mizoram. So total 10 autonomous districts are under this act. Is the Bodo, Karbi Analog, and the Dima Hasdo. Meghalaya is the Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, and Tripura is the Tripura. Tripura has the one only, and Mizoram is the Chakma Hasdo, Chakma Autonomous, Lai, and the Mara. Chakma, Lai, and Mara. So name is also important. Chakma, Lai, and Mara. To include the Arunachal Pradesh in 6th schedule required Constitutional Amendment Act. National Commission for Scheduled Tribes has recommended Union Territory of the Ladakh to be declared as a tribal area under the 6th schedule, and Citizenship Amendment Act exempted the 6th schedule area inner line permit. So Citizenship Amendment is exempted the 6th schedule in the inner line permit. Citizenship will never be applied in the inner line permit. So 6th schedule to be the constitution provide power to tribal community to administer the tribal area in the Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. Its provision Article 244 and the 275A is Article 244 of the provides the special system of the administration for certain areas designed as the schedule area and the tribal area. So 275 makes the provision for the statutory grant to be the charge of Consolidated Fund of India. Such grant also includes the special grant for the promotion of welfare of the scheduled tribes or the raising the level of the administration of the scheduled tribes in the state. So Autonomous District Council, 26 4 was elected, 4 was nominated. Autonomous regions are dividing by the governor, and power is regulatory like school, dispensary, markets and road. Judicial power, village court to trial, tribal cases and jurisdiction special by governor. Power with the governor due approval is power to limit the center, states and act of the governor approval. Now comparing the 5th and 6th schedule. 5th schedule is the Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, MP, UP, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan, 10 districts. 6th schedule only Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. Autonomous District Council will be there by the act of state legislature. So 5th schedule was made by the act of the legislature, and there is the Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, then Jharkhand, then Himachal Pradesh, then MP, then Gujarat, then Maharashtra, Odisha as well as Rajasthan. Autonomy is the Panchayat, PESA Act, self-government of the Gram Sabha for the people living in the 5th schedule, and there is a greater autonomy compared to the 5th schedule, and 5th schedule is the Tribal Advisory Council has only advisory power. For this has much wider power above the infographic. Borrowing power of the center and the state government. Recently, the central government increased the borrowing limits of the state 5% of gross state domestic product and 3%. Recently, central government increased the borrowing limits of the state 5% of the gross state domestic product and 3%. Comparison of the borrowing power. Basic borrowing powers of the center and the states. Constitutional provision. Center. Article 292, central government has unrestricted power to borrow subject to limits at parliament, and no restriction can be borrowed domestically and from the abroad. In the terrestrial restrictions and other is not. State government, this power limit to the act of the state government. Okay, and this can only be raised the loan domestically, not the internationally, but center can go for internationally also, and central government has unrestricted power to borrow subject to limit by the parliament will set the limits. Can borrow upon the security of consolidated of states, cannot raise loan if the outstanding amounts of the previous loan is due to the center. So it can borrow on the consolidated fund of India and cannot raise loan if any outstanding amount of previous loans is due to by the center. Now, consolidated sinking fund. What is a consolidated sinking fund? Recently, with the revenue source drying up due to the lockdown, state want a center to relax norms regarding using the money accumulated. Consolidated sinking fund was set up 1999 RBI to meet the redemption of market loans of the states. So if RBI wants to redemption of the market loans, then consolidated sinking fund was there, and this is the reserve fund created by state for amortizations of the debt obligations. State government maintain the consolidation sinking fund with the reserve bank and the buffer for the repayment of the liability. Under this, a state government could contribute 1 to 3% annual outstanding debt liability to create a buffer for the repayment of their future liability. And initially 11 states set up the sinking fund. Later the 12th Finance Commission recommended that all the states shall have the sinking fund for the amortizations of the loans, including the loan from the banks, liability on the account of the National Small Saving Fund. Fund is maintained outside the consolidated fund of states in the public account, and it's not to be the used for any other purpose except for the redemption of the loan. So this ensures the good fiscal governance. So sinking fund is what? It's 1999 RBI to meet the redemption of market loans of the states. Reserve fund created by the state for amortizations of the debt obligation. So as the government maintain the consolidated sinking fund, Reserve Bank of India buffer for the repayment of the liabilities, and the state government could contribute 1 to 3% of the annual outstanding liability to the funds to create a buffer repayment of the future liabilities. So 11 states set up the sinking funds, and 12 Finance Commission is talking about the sinking fund to amortizations of all the loans, and including the loans from the bank, liabilities, National Small Saving Funds. Now, Article 370. What is that? Article 370 was the 35A was the Administration of Reorganization of Jammu Kashmir. 1948 Indian government signed Treaty of Association with the ruler of Kashmir, Kashmir Protection Aggregation. For post signing of Treaty of Association, Article 370 was inserted and a part of the 1912 of the Constitution, and to be the temporarily transitional special provision and provided by the Jammu and Kashmir. As per this article, center needed the state government occurrence for the law, except in the defense, foreign affairs, and finance and communication, and also the state resident live under the separate states of law, such as those related to the citizenships, ownerships, property, separate penal codes, and fundamental rights. But the August President of India promulgated the Constitution to Jammu Kashmir, which stated that provisions of the Indian Constitution were applied to the state. This effectively means that all the provisions that forms the basic of the separate constitution for Jammu and Kashmir with this Article 35A was scrapped, and Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act passed by the Parliament with reorganization of Jammu Kashmir into UT, Jammu Kashmir Legislative Assembly, and the UT of the Ladakh. So President Article 370 and the 367 allow the expression of Constitutional Assembly of the state. 370 the mean of the Legislative Assembly. Amend the 367 and to amend the 370 for the allowed repeal to the 370. So completely applicability of the Indian Constitution to the Jammu and Kashmir. No separate flag. Tenure of the Jammu Kashmir to be the 5 year instead of earlier 6 year, replacing the Ranbir Penal Code with the Indian Penal Code. Article 356, under which President rule can be imposed in the states, will also be applicable to the UT of the Jammu Kashmir. The center quota law in the school, college administration, and state government job will apply. People from the other states may be able to acquire property in residency rights now. RTI would be made applicable now, and certain provision for Jammu and Kashmir will define denied property rights to native women who marry to the person from outside. So what are the new provisions? First is the complete applicability of the Indian Constitution. No separate flag will be there. Tenure will be 5 years now. replacing the Indian Penal Code. 356 will be applied there. Central quota for the schools will be applied there. People from other states will acquire the property now. Okay, and RTI will be applicable, and one exception is there. If one woman is marrying to the person of the Jammu Kashmir, then they will never acquire any property. Okay, so these are some provisions which was added into implication of the move. Now there is the two UT. One is the Jammu Kashmir Legislative Assembly. Second is the UT of the Ladakh Legislative Assembly. Parliament passed the organization of Jammu Kashmir into two UT, which is Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh in 2019. Okay. So Jammu Kashmir Panchayati Raj Act also enacted, with Ministry of Home Affairs amended the Jammu Kashmir Panchayati Raj Act. Who enacted Jammu Kashmir Act, which is the Home Affairs. Setting up of District Development Council and new governance with the Jammu and Kashmir and incorporated provision of 73rd Amendment. So District Council replaced the District Planning of the Development Board that were headed by the Cabinet Minister, with MP, MLA, MLC is member of District Deputy Commissioner as its member of Secretary. Now new structure will be the District Planning Committee. New structure will be a District Planning Committee and will be elected representation from the East districts and will be headed by the chairman from among the elected representative. Okay, it's for the 5 year, and it will have the jurisdiction over the entire districts excluding those areas designed as municipalities and municipal corporations. So District Council will prepare the approved district plans and capital expenditure. 5 standing committee, one each for the finance, development, public work, health, education, welfare will now be constituted in every district council. It will oversee the function of the Halka Panchayat, Block Panchayat were set up under the 1989 Act. Scope of the functions will be amplified, like the planning process of the handed over to directly to the elected representations. There will be the elected representative, and earlier were the Center for Planning and Development. Now it's a District Development Council. Center amend land law in the Jammu Kashmir, so omitted the permanent residents of the state from section 17 of Jammu Kashmir Development Act, which deal with the disposal of the UT. Before 370 and Article 35A were repealed in August, non-resident could not buy any movable property. But now under new law, government can also transfer land in the favor of person or institution for promotion of the healthcare education institution. So now the government can transfer the fund and for the institution of promotion of healthcare and education. An amendment, however, do not allow transfer of agricultural land to the non-agriculturalist. If you are a non-agriculturalist, then I will never transfer to you the agricultural land. But Lok Sabha passed the Jammu Kashmir Official Language Act also. Bill seek to include the Kashmiri, Dogri, Hindi. Which language? Kashmiri, Dogri and Hindi, which is the official language in the newly states of UT, Jammu Kashmir and the Ladakh. Earlier only English and Urdu were the official language, but now this is the Kashmiri, Dogri and the Hindi is the state language. And Part 17 of the 343 C51 of Constitution deal with the official language. Article 343 state that official language of Union shall be Hindi in the Devanagari script. For we have that is Hindi in the Devanagari script, but for the Jammu and Kashmir there is Kashmiri, Dogri and the Hindi language. So hope you enjoyed. Now Interstate Council. See, it's a Sarkaria Commission who recommended this presidential order set up. Then Article 263 provide the constitution backing. So recommendation on this center-state interstate dispute promote the coordination and not a permanent constitutional body. It's not a permanent constitutional body. It's a temporary body. So chairperson will be the PM, CM of the all states and administrator and UT without the list. 6 central cabinet minister including the home minister to be the nominated as by PM. Standing committee 5 cabinet minister, 9 CM will be there. Amendment to the 1990 order is governor can attain in the case of a state and under presidential rule and nominated by the chairman and permanent invitee can amend the union minister. So Maharashtra Karnataka border disputes were there. This dispute is ordered to be the area along the Maharashtra's border with Karnataka districts Balgavi, Uttarakhand, Bidar and the Gulbarga. So Maharashtra Karnataka border disputes were there. So these border disputes were in the Maharashtra and the border of Karnataka. Balagavi, Uttarakhanda, Bidar and the Gulbarga. Mechanism to resolve the disputes are Article 3 to empower Parliament to form a new states and alter the area boundaries and name of the states. So Parliament will do this. Article 131 confer upon the Supreme Court exclusive jurisdiction to deal with center-state disputes. It's Article 113. Maharashtra government moved to the Supreme Court and this was dispute. So Article 263 entrusts the President to create interstate council which may tender advice regarding resolution between the interstate dispute. Second is Aspirational District Program. Institute of Competitiveness. India is an international initiative center in India dedicated to enlarging purposeful dissemination of body research and knowledge. It is the NITI Aayog who recently released the India Innovation Index. Social Progress. US-based non-profit organization published the Social Progress Index and that measure the extent to which country provide for the social and environmental needs of the citizen. So this question might be important for the prelims question. This is Social Progress Imperative in US government. It's a non-profit organization. So Aspirational District Program was released jointly by the Institute of Competitiveness and Social Progress Imperative. Aspirational program was launched by the Institute of Competitiveness and the Social Progress Imperative. So Aspirational Districts Program was the Government of India January to accelerate the improvement in socio-economic indicator of most underdeveloped districts. This was the 739 districts including the 35 left-wing extremism area and 112 of the India of 739 districts. So how many districts from India? 112 out of 739 districts and region spread across the country. So who is proposing this? Social Progress Imperative and Institute of Competitiveness. So driven by the following idea, NITI Aayog is also here, approach the government toward moving to the economic measures, enabling the equitable regional development, driving change in the competitive and competitive federalism, and focus on practical measurable social progress in 6 measures: health 30%, education 30%, agriculture water resources 20%, financial inclusion 5%, skill development 5%, basic infrastructure 10%. So health and education both have given the higher weightage, then agriculture, then basic infrastructure, then finance, then skill development is last. So which is the better, like health and education? Now based on the 3 core principles, what are the principal? Convergence. What convergence? State and center is the government initiative to district level. Collaboration among citizen functionary of the center, state government including the districts, and competition. So basic structure of the program was NITI Aayog is the central level. Ushering the program and individual minister have assumed responsibility to drive the progress. State government are main driver of the change, like form a committee under the respective chief secretary to implement the well-tracked program. For the each districts, the central Prabari office of the rank of additional secretary, joint secretary has been appointed to provide feedback and recommendation based on the local level finding. Under the program, NITI Aayog released the Delta ranking, which is district based on the monthly improvement of the achievement in the 6 focus area, which is the champions of change dashboard on the online basis. Next is the judiciary. So what is the judiciary? Contempt of court. See, this question is very important for prelims now these days. Recently, Supreme Court lawyer advised Prashant Bhushan guilty of the contempt of court. Context of the comment made social media targeting the current Chief Justice of India. Contempt refer to the offence showing the disrespect to the dignity of the authority of the court. Rationale for this provision is court must be protected from tendencies attack that lower its authority, defame the public image and make the public lose faith in the impartiality. Also, Article 361 say full faith and credit shall be given to the territory of India to public act, records and judicial proceeding of the union and state government. So Mulgaonkar principle is the criticism against the Supreme Court Council invoked the Mulgaonkar principle, which is a case that led to the landmark ruling in the subject of the contempt. So majority of the court has Mulgaonkar not guilty of the contempt, although the same bench initiated proceeding. This council is exercising the contempt jurisdiction came into the Mulgaonkar principle. What are the refer to the offence of showing the disrespect dignity to the authority of the court? Article 361 full faith and credit shall be given to the judicial proceeding. Article 19 to reasonable restriction. Article 129 and 215 is power of the punish to the contempt of the respectively. Reasonable restriction, full faith and credit given to the judicial proceeding. It's 261, full faith to the judicial proceeding. 19 for the reasonable restriction. 192, 129 and 215 both are for the contempt respectively for the Supreme Court and High Court. And Contempt of Court Act was passed, define the contempt of court as the Constitution does not define it. Constitution does not define the contempt of court, but civil contempt for the disobedience of the order, criminal contempt for the scandalizing the court, interfere the trend of interference with the judicial proceeding, civil for the disobedience of the order. If you are not agreeing with the order, you can go for civil contempt. But if there is a scandalization of court, if there is interference with the judicial proceeding, 6 month imprisonment will be there and 2000 rupees fine will be there, and cannot initiate contempt proceeding post 1 year expiry alleged contempt. So you will be like this will never be expired till 1 year also. So exemption, what are the exemption in this case? Fair and accurate reporting to the judicial proceeding. If you are giving, you will never go for that. Fair criticism of merit judgment. Merely defamatory attack on the judge are not intended to be the proceeding, but 2006 amendment introduced truth as a valid defense if done by public interest. Truth is the valid defense if you are done in the public interest. Okay, so these are the contempt of court, which is the Mulgaonkar unknown. It's a case of led to the landmark ruling of the subject to the contempt. Majority of the court is the Mulgaonkar not guilty on the contempt, although the same bench has initiated the proceeding. This counsel caution in the exercising the contempt jurisdiction came into called the Mulgaonkar principle. So you should have the idea about the what is the Mulgaonkar principle. This can be important for the prelims, which is for the contempt of court. It's not mentioned in the constitution. This also important for the prelims. Okay, so these questions, how you will deal this. Next is mechanism of the investigate charge against the Supreme Court judge. So Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister written to Chief Justice of India complaining about misconduct on the part of sitting Supreme Court judge. What are the complaining about the misconduct of the part of sitting Supreme Court judge? Over the year, 3 mechanism in the House. Over the year, in House procedure, sexual harassment guidelines, removal for the proven misbehavior and incapacity, and have involved investigate case of misconduct, including the case of sexual harassment, misbehavior, incapacity of the judge. So, removal proceeding as per the 12(4) of the Constitution. Who may file a complaint, signed notice by the at least 100 member of the Lok Sabha and 50 member of the Rajya Sabha on charge of misbehavior and incapacity of the court. Person to whom a complaint must be filed, presiding officer of the relevant house of the parliament. So you can go for the person to whom complaints must be filed, presiding officer will file the complaints. Preliminary inquiry, presiding officer will constitute to 3-member committee to investigate the complaints. Composition of the inquiry committee, Supreme Court judge, Supreme Court Chief Justice of India, High Court Chief Justice of India, and a distinguished jurist. This will be the member. Removal of the judge of procedure. What will be there? Sign the at least 100 members to the Lok Sabha and 50 to the Rajya Sabha. Then presiding officer will go to the to inquire this whole matter. Then 3-member committee will be there. Supreme Court, High Court, Chief Justice and special jurist. This is the procedure to removal of Article 124 of the Constitution. Mechanism to investigate charge against the Supreme Court judge. So this is there. In House procedure, complaint misconducted may be filed by any person in House. And Chief Justice of India is the President, or President of India will be the person to whom complaint must be filed. And CJI is required to determine whether the complaint is either frivolous or serious. CJI find that the complaint involves serious misconduct of the impropriety. He will seek to response to the concerned judge based on the response in supporting material. If the CJI find that the complaint needs a deeper probe, he will constitute an inquiry committee. The committee will comprise 3 judge of Supreme Court, 2 justice of High Court. And in Supreme Court Sexual Harassment Regulation Act, written complaint on the sexual harassment by a woman will be given. And person to whom complaint must be filed, it's a gender sensitization and internal complaint committee is given there, where you will go there. This committee is satisfied that the complaint is genuine It will constitute a 3-member internal subcommittee conducted to inquiry, which is the committee is comprises GSICC or person nominated by GSICC, with the majority member being the woman and of outside member 1. Okay, so this all about the complaints regarding the Supreme Court judges. Now we are going to discuss about the Lok Adalat. What is the Lok Adalat? In a period of turbulence caused by the pandemic, Legal Service Authority creativity adapted to the new normal, moved to the Lok Sabha to a virtual platform called the Online Lok Adalat or E-Lok Adalat. Lok Adalat was organized 15 states, leading to the disposal of 2.51 cases in June to October. And Lok Adalat is one that alternative dispute resolution mechanism is a pre-litigation stage settled amicably without any expense in litigant. So this will be the statutory status in Legal Service Authority Act, and it consists of the judicial officer as a chairman, lawyer as a social worker as a member. Instrument in reducing the burden of arrears of the court disposal of long pending litigations between the parties, deemed to be a decree of the civil courts. Final, it's a binding on all parties. No appeal against such award lies before any court. Recently, Chhattisgarh became the first state to country to inaugurate the state of new E-Lok Adalat. Who became the first state? Chhattisgarh. So, alternative dispute resolution mechanism is the mechanism of dispute resolution that is not adversarial, working together cooperatively reach the best solution of the everyone. It can be instrument in reducing the burden of litigant of the courts while delivering the well-rounded and satisfying experience of the party. Legal Service Authority Act 1987 is to encourage the out-of-court settlement, and new Arbitration and Conciliation Act enacted to deal with the domestic and international arbitration. It's established Article 14 equality before law, right to life and personal liberty under the constitutional directive principle of state policy of equal justice and free legal acts under the engraved Article 39, and Indian constitution can also be achieved the ADR. So arbitration binding awards, arbitration consider evidence, negotiation voluntary agreements is a work outage resolution directly. Arbitration is a binding award, it's a arbitral considered with the evidence, and negotiation is voluntary because negotiation work out to the solution directly. Okay, and conciliation explains the law, non-binding. Conciliation is also non-binding. Its conciliation is for the recommendation of the conciliation. And mediator facilitate problem solving, facilitate negotiation and mediation. So only and only arbitration is the binding. Now related to the Arbitration and Conciliation Bill 2021 was promulgated. What are the three key amendments? Unconstitutional and conditional stay and on enforcement of arbitral award in case of the arbitration agreement contract is induced the fraud and corruption. Until recently, an arbitration award was enforceable even if an appeal was filed against the court. Removal of 8th schedule that contain the necessary qualification for accreditations and arbitration. Now qualification, experience and norm for accreditation and arbitration shall be specified by the regulation which will be the framed by Arbitration Council of India. So proposed under the Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Act, according to the 8th schedule, arbitration must be an advocate under the Advocate Act with 10 years of the experience and an officer of the Indian Legal Service among the other. This will the benefits for an arbitration due to the removal of qualification. All stakeholders and party get opportunity to seek the unconditional stay or enforcement of arbitral work. So about the Arbitration Council of India, Arbitration and Conciliation Act seek to establishment and incorporation and independent body, namely the Arbitration Council of India. Is grading of arbitration institution and accreditation of arbitrator will be headed by chairperson, judge of the Supreme Court and Chief Justice of the High Court or eminent person appointed by the central government and constitution with the Chief Justice of India. It will also have to the full-time member, eminent arbitration practitioner and academicians, and one representative recognized body of commerce and industry shall be nominated on rotational basis as a part-time member. Secretary of Department of Legal Affairs, Ministry of Law and Justice under Department of Expenditure, Ministry of Finance Department, and Chief Executive Officers will be ex officio member. Who will be the ex officio member? Department of Law and Department of Expenditure. Singapore Convention and mediation come into the force. What is the Singapore Convention? That will be the important question for prelims. It's also known the United Nations Convention on the International Settlement Agreement, resulting mediation in the UN Treaty of the Singapore, Convention on International Settlements and Agreements, resulting the mediations. Apply to International Settlement Agreement resulting from the mediation concluded by the parties to resolve the commercial dispute. It will allow the business to seek the enforcement of mediated settlement agreement across the borders by applying directly to the court country have signed and ratified the treaty. So currently Convention 53 signatory included the India, including China and USA. Significance of convention: it will facilitate the international trade commerce by enabling dispute parties to easily enforce and invoke settlement agreement. Business will be benefit mediation as additional dispute resolution options to litigations and arbitration in setting cross-border disputes, and it will help to save the time and legal cost. Benefits will India: it will boost ease of doing business and enabling with swift mediation settlements, provide a positive signals to foreign investors about the Indian commitment to adhere the international practice. Next one is Nyay Bandhu scheme. It's also important for the prelims. Recently, government has launched a Umang app. This is the Ministry of Law and Justice established a framework for the dispensation pro bono legal service across the country. Connect the practicing advocating interest to pro bono work with the eligible, marginalized and the vulnerable beneficiary. Is pro bono legal service refer to the practice of giving legal assistance for the free and minimum cost, and its justice associated Article 39A for the Constitution of India Umang app to bring the major government service of the single mobile app and make the government accessible to the mobile phone. Is initiation of the Ministry of Electronics and 660 service from the 127 department and 25 states was the bill payment was levied on it. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is the civil service of the Indian Meteorological Department, which was the service included current weather warning. It's also giving for this Umang application, and one is the pro bono application also. Habeas corpus petition. Arnab Goswami, High Court. Petition for the immediate release. Habeas corpus recently mean you must have the body. This petition filed under the Article 32 to pray before the court to direct a particular individual or authority who have detained a person to produce a detainee before the court. So this leads the court to determine validity of such detention. And habeas corpus bulwark of individual liberty against the arbitrary detention. It can be issued against both public authority as well as private individual. It can be enforced both public as well as private individual. You must have the body. Produce the detainee before the court. Now, ply bargaining. What is the ply bargaining? It refers to a person charged with a criminal offence negotiation with the prosecution for a lesser punishment that was provided law by leading guilty to as less serious offence. It was introduced in India as part of said amendment to the Code of Criminal Procedure. It can be initiated only by the accused. Only accused can go for the ply bargaining. Amendment to Code of the Criminal Procedure. Okay, so it cannot be used death sentence, life sentence or the prison terms above the 7 years. So ply bargaining can apply a person charged with a criminal offence negotiation with the prosecution for a lesser punishment not above the punishment of the death sentence or the sentence or prison term above the 7 years. This is the ply bargaining, which is for the lesser punishment. Right to shebaiship, which is important for prelims. Recently court upheld the shebaiship right to Travancore royal family in the Padmanabhaya temple. Is referred to the right to manage the financial affair of the deity position of the trustee. It's a manager of the property only title entitled to custody of the both. So is a Shebite. It is the no legal claims of the property. Witness protection scheme is Odisha government launched recently. Witness protection scheme, which is case of MLA and MP. Under the scheme, it provides the protection of witness based on the threat assessment protection measures inter alia include the protection of identity of the witness, relocation, installation of security, uses of the design courts and room. It was approved by Supreme Court. It is binding. It is binding on all the courts in India. Witness Protection Act is the binding act, and it also provides the state witness protection fund for meeting the expenses of the scheme. Malimat committee has batted for the strong witness protection mechanism in India.